Well, good morning and welcome back to the Crow's Nest Railroad. Well, we're not going to stay here. We're going to head out to the Pinnacle Peak in Southern. I'm going to go pick up Bob. We've got a speeder project to work on today, so hope you can join us. Bob needs to do some mechanical work on the number 2 speeder, the little work speeder electric. And we're going to move some equipment out of the way here so that we can bring the speeder out. Got some work to do on the axles. This is our main MOW car. Everything in here but the kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink's underneath. You just can't see it.
I see. The kitchen sink is buried. This car is sort of equivalent to that drawer in your kitchen that's got everything in it.
And
Here's a nice MOW car.
with the roof of the CP Huntington upside down on it as we're putting sound system in the CP.
We haven't really talked about the Huntington locomotive. We'll do an episode on that coming up. This is the Huntington locomotive there. There's quite a story behind that, which we'll get to on a future episode. All right, this is our task for today. Here's a nice shot of the car barn in here. That's a cool place to hang out. Passenger cars. There's another speeder, electric, and the amazing Hurlbut is up there by the door. And the weather's beautiful this morning, so this is a great day to be working on equipment. It's not going to be super hot today. All right, Bob's getting right to work. Bob, are we putting these new pillow blocks in?
We are. We've got 2 new pillow blocks to put in the front. So we've got a small car jack that we're going to lift the front of this up with, extract that front axle, put the pillow blocks back in, and then drill and tap the axle. So at this point in time, we're going to start with the rear axle, where I was putting a 1/4-20 thread through the center of the axle bore itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to re-drill this original hole a little larger, re-tap it to the full depth that I need, and then put this axle cap on, and then we'll do the same to the other 3 sides. There's a 1/4-20 drill that gets through the center of the axle, and then there's what's called a Dutchman, and that'll be an 832 screw drilled and tapped slightly off center of the center line of the axle, so that it keeps that cap from loosening the bolt through the center.
Oh, so it doesn't twist off by the rotation of the axle.
Exactly, because as you're rolling along, it's going to the cap rubs against the side of the bearing, and it wants to back that screw out. So we're going to keep that from happening with this Dutchman.
Gotcha. I don't know if you can see, but there's the center hole to be re-tapped, and then the Dutchman off to the side of that, and then we're going to replace this pillow block. Bob, what's going to keep these pillow blocks from twisting like this? This is like flaring out.
It will flare out, and that's the reason for the flange on this piece right here.
Oh, so that's going to capture that and keep it from...
We are going to capture that, rubbing right against that. So it's going to force up against that and forcing it out, but the 1/4-20 bolt should hold that from popping this off the end of the axle.
I see.
When I modified this from a solid bolt-on assembly and put the spring in there because we were having trouble with the frame being too rigid, and as the track undulated, it walked the front of the axle off the rail, derailing it. So this is my attempt with the springs to allow a little bit of traverse and flexibility in the wheel arrangement, and ultimately not realizing it would give me a problem as this flared out. It literally walked, the axle had enough, the axle was short enough that it walked through the bearing and right out.
Gotcha. But this will sort of gimbal, won't it?
That's correct. It'll flip back and forth, and that's okay. I want to be able to DRS the undulations in the track that will undoubtedly occur over time, and that makes this a more flexible track following bearing assembly. So we'll see how that works.
Cool. There's the new pillow blocks here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is drill out that hole so that we can tap threads into that hole in the center of the axle. You really haven't lived a full and glorious life if you haven't ever broken off a tap into a piece of steel.
That is not what we call a full and glorious life in the machining world.
It's very disappointing.
No, that's much better.
And this hole is for the Dutchman that's going to
That's
keep
correct.
that cap from rotating.
That is correct. So now I need to tap that hole. Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Got it.
So now we need to jack it up.
All right, time for us to move this thing into the shade. Got to do some work on this front axle now. All right, you can see this pillow block, which is the housing for that bearing, is broken away. So we've got the frame jacked up. I'm gonna pull this pillow block out of here. All right, well, we started getting this broken pillow block off. We got to put new pillow blocks here in the front axle. But lo and behold, I don't know whether that's damage or someone took a big cold chisel and smashed the end of that axle in this collar part of the bearing that's on there. But regardless of whether that was intentional or not, that pretty much has crimped that collar on there. I pulled the grub screws out. So we gotta put our thinking caps on. We gotta pull that off, see if we've got a gear puller or something to pop this collar off. But a bit of good news, look at this. Halfway through the day and I still have both my work gloves. I can't tell you how many times I get home with just one. I just don't know what happens to it. Probably the same fate as those socks that are taken away from us in the clothes dryer. Ta-da! Nice. Putting the old bolts on the new pillow block. New pillow block is on, and we got to get it mounted up to the beam here. Okay, well, we are officially done for the day. We've got all 4 axle bearings in place. They need to be greased and tested, of course. And there's one other task that needs to be done, but we're not going to get to it today, and that is we've got to get some chain and run from the electric motor to the large gear on the idler shaft. I don't know if you can see it down there, but typically you'll have a small tooth gear on the motor, which creates quite a low gear as it goes up to this big gear here. On this shaft, the shaft to nowhere, it's just a big gear, and then a small gear on the shaft goes to a bigger gear in the back. And this is the chain. We need to buy a little bit of chain, hook it up, and get this thing going. And then we can test this thing out again. So, it was a good day. We had to hit the auto parts store and get a gear puller. That was the only real hiccup. So this is Stan, and for Bob and I, we both say thanks so much for joining us. It was kind of a nerdy task today, but maybe interesting for you, so hope that was great. And we'll see you right here next time on the Crow's Nest Railroad. Bye-bye.